Hello and welcome. Today we are back with a two-tool Toby Model Manda Live sheet metal Onshape challenge. And that was on this funky little bracket, and Toby ran into a couple issues, and I was gonna type a long comment on YouTube, but figured I would just do a quick video response to make it more fun. So here we go. I'm gonna model this in Onshape using sheet metal and hopefully get it all sorted out. So here we go. I'm gonna move that to the side and get going. So I'm gonna start with a sketch on the top view, start with a polygon and go down to 3 sides. Then I'm gonna make this horizontal, and Toby did all this, but he dimensioned that edge instead of the print actually calls for that dimension at 100. So that was part of the problem. I'm gonna add the hole on there as well, because why not? And that is 23. We're good here. I'm gonna create a sheet metal model using thicken. He did find that, not immediately, but a sketch is a surface in Onshape. A sketch region is basically like a face, like a surface. So that's where the thicken makes sense. Let's see, yeah, 5 millimeters radius and thickness. So we're good here. Then we're gonna do a flange. That went well. We're gonna go, it doesn't really matter which edge you pick. Onshape kind of always measures the distance from the virtual sharp of the two flat faces. There's no other option currently in Onshape for that, so it doesn't matter if you pick that top edge or that bottom edge, you will get the 75 to the virtual sharp. So in a 90 it's that dimension, but when you get a different angle it will vary. It's the virtual sharp of these two faces that the distance is computed from. Good little tip to know. So one thing is that this edge continues in line with here. You got a smooth transition, which is not what you want. But the way to deal with this in Onshape is just use a move face, and you can go, you want to move this face and go up to, and you can pick this, right, which gives you what you wanted in the first place. And a good trick is that when you do one face like this, you can also add other selections and it will move them by the same amount. So the first selection controls the distance, and then any other, so basically this up to applies to the first thing you select, and you can select a bunch of other things. Any other face will be offset by that same amount. So that's a good shortcut to know you can move multiple faces in one go. So that was how you fix this. I'm gonna go start a sketch on here, and we need a rectangle that is, how wide is this? That would be 70 by 45. And then let's create these. We probably just make them equal, I guess, and they're 90 degrees, so perpendicular. What am I missing here? Oh, distance of the base, that's how that one's defined. 20, and let's put some circles in here as well. Actually, we can make them mirror, and it doesn't actually matter, we can use the whole tool anyway later. That was another issue that Toby ran into. I think that's what we need. I'm just gonna pre-select this, go straight into an extrude, up to next, and then add a fillet that we need on these edges. How big is that fillet? Can't see it. I'm sure it's on there somewhere. 6 millimeter. So I'm gonna grab this, 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 and this. And now, as far as a countersink hole in sheet metal, you can't currently do it on an active sheet metal in Onshape. And that's something that they are supposed to fix very soon. But in the meantime, actually what I would do, I'm going to go back for a second, change my mind, and I'm going to add these 8mm holes, because you do want these in the flat so that you can show, basically show where it would be. But we'll have to add the countersink after the fact, which is, it's a bit unfortunate, but, and Toby was onto it. Basically, what happens is every cut currently in Onshape has to be a normal cut. There is no option for not doing a normal cut in a sheet metal part. So what that means is you just need to do finish sheet metal part, and then after you've done this, then you can do whatever you want. I mean, you could do either a chamfer or use the hole tool. Countersink. Looks like I tried this before. And then gonna use, I guess I could do Oh, I'm running into an issue as well. That's interesting. You know what, it's probably because the hole size is the same size, which is not helpful. Okay, so never mind the hole. We are going to do a chamfer, and we've got an 8mm hole with a 12mm diameter, which means it's a 2mm chamfer. And let's do another little trick. We can go select, create selection. Let's go, actually, what do I want? Edges. Select pattern. So select pattern will look for every thing that's the end. Actually, that's not what I wanted. I should have prepared for this. As you can tell, I haven't tried this before. This is very useful, except that it's picking both sides, unfortunately. So it's not really helping me in this case. But I will just do it manually, I guess. I guess I could do one and probably do a circular pattern again, and then pattern a feature around here with a quantity of 3, and apply, for instance. No, it still doesn't work, eh? Okay, interesting. What about a face pattern? It's weird that it's not working. That should have worked. Interesting. And I did want to do the circular pattern beforehand so that the flat pattern at least is correct, minus the chamfer. So I guess that just means you have to do it the hard way and select all 6 edges, which really isn't that big of a deal, but I was trying to find a shortcut. But a lot of roundabout, but that should be it. And I think I wrote down the answer from the tournament. I have 874. 874. Yeah, I think this is correct. Anyway, this is the model. I'm gonna name it in case anyone wants to look for it in the public docs. What is it called? 23T61 tri-cap. Yeah, there you have it. A few things didn't go as well as I was hoping for, but the countersink, definitely tricky. Definitely can't do it in sheet metal yet. The Onshape has demoed the functionality on their preview, when was that? Earlier this year. So any day now, any day we should be able to do that natively and have the countersinks show up in the flat pattern. But as of now, finish sheet metal is what you have to do. Anyway, hope that was helpful, and yeah, we'll see you next time. Alright, quick addendum. I was thinking about this whole thing and was confused as to what was going on, but then I figured it out. So obviously you do have to finish a sheet metal feature, sheet metal model to be able to countersink a hole. But what I needed to do was I was almost there, but for it to work, when I picked this, the problem was that it wasn't, it's not seeing the starting face because the hole is already there, so there's no face to start from. So I had to check. By default, Onshape will look for, when you pick a location for a hole, it will look for the first thing that the hole would hit, and that's where it would start the countersink or the counterbore or whatever hole feature you do. But you do have that option for start from sketch plane, which forces it to start right right where you start, and that's what it needed to be able to figure out where to locate the hole. And it also has issues finding an end condition for the hole, so blind end condition is, and I set it to 5 millimeters because that's all you need to get through. So that was really the trick, is use the start from sketch plane for it to find the starting point. Otherwise, because the hole's already there, it just does not find it. So there's that, and then once you have that, you can pattern that, pattern this hole. I guess that center hole 3, and if you apply, for instance, it does work. So there you go. That's how you do it with this, and then you should still have the same mass. So that's the answer, the proper way of doing it, and you get this whole table entry that you could use on a drawing if you wanted to, by doing it this way. So that's really the better way of doing it, rather than adding a chamfer after. Anyway, later.